are you, baby? Come
Pardon
here.
me, ma'am. Is something wrong?
Yes,
Can I help you?
it's my little dog, a small gray poodle. His name's Ringo.
Yes, ma'am.
And the little fellow's lost, and he's just not used to being out alone at night.
Oh, well, that's too bad, ma'am. Maybe I can help you find him.
Oh, thank you. You look like a good person. I can tell from your face.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Well, let's see now. Here, Ringo. There. Come on, boy. Here, Ringo. Come on, boy. Okay, buddy, freeze.
What's so funny?
Well, it's sort of a private joke.
Well, the joke's over. Now turn around real slow and let me see them hands.
Oh, now, hold on.
Up, slow. Looks like we got our burglar, Al.
Burglar?
All right, let's see some identification. Now keep those hands up.
Well,
Let's see some identification.
Well, I don't carry any identification.
Hippie, huh?
Well, look, fella, I'm no burglar and I'm no hippie. I'm just trying to help a nice old lady find her little doggie.
Sure you are.
No ID, nothing.
Nah, looks like our burglar, Al.
Well, let's go.
Oh, no, just a minute, fellas. You're making a mistake. Now, you just ask the nice little old lady.
No, you asked the little old lady.
Well, all right. It's, well, now, she must have, she must be... Old lady! Where are you?
Maybe at the old folks' home.
Is there a law against being a nut?
Now, look, fellas, I'm no burglar.
Yeah, we know. You're just a nature lover.
There was a little old lady and a little gray poodle.
Of course.
Well, I can't swear to the gray poodle.
Right.
But there was a little old lady.
Sure there was. Come on.
Now,
Tell it to the judge.
Well, I don't think I won't.
Once upon a time, out in California, a 67-year-old man lived with his 33-year-old son. Meanwhile, up in Fairbanks, Alaska, there was this big avalanche. Get the connection? You don't.
2 days ago, there was an avalanche in Alaska. A frozen object was discovered that's been identified as your father. After all these years. But, Mr. Carpenter, there's something I haven't told you. I'd like to bring the body back here. Your father's alive. Alive? Whatever your father may be chronologically, physically and mentally, he hasn't aged a day since he fell in that glacier. Your father, for all intents and purposes, is 33 years old.
Not bad for 101. Don't look a day over 90.
What are you doing on the floor?
Playing with my grandson.
I'm required to advise you that the DNA may be taken down and used in evidence against you. However, you're under no obligation to make any statements or respond to any questions without benefit of legal counsel. What's the charge?
D&D.
It's junk and disorderly.
Want to ask him if he has a lawyer?
Can't ask him. You can't answer that without a lawyer. What's the matter with you? Don't you know the new rules?
Oh, wait, look that up.
All right. Let's see.
I was drunk and disorderly.
Yeah. But he doesn't have a lawyer and wants a lawyer. Hey, fella, you want it? Next case.
All right, buddy. Good evening, Sergeant. Now, first off, I'm no burglar. And here's what really happened.
Don't talk. Don't say a thing.
Why not?
We don't allow confessions without a lawyer.
Officer, if you just take me back, I'm sure we can find that old lady. Fellas, will you just listen to me a minute?
You heard what the sergeant said. No confession without a lawyer.
But I'm not confessing. I didn't do anything.
Got a problem, Pilgrim?
Yeah, I got a problem. How to get out of here.
Naturally. How are you? The name's Irving.
Well, I'm pleased to meet you, Irvin. I'm Luke. I'm innocent.
Sure you are. We all are. Who ever heard of finding a guilty person in jail? Look, Luke, a little poker to pass the time?
Well, sure, Irving. Why not?
You know what they're trying to pin on me?
No, what?
Bookmaking. They break into my office. They find not one betting slip, and still they grab me for bookmaking on circumstantial evidence.
That doesn't sound fair. What was the circumstantial evidence?
23 telephones. What'd they get you for?
Suspicion of burglary. But it's all a mistake, so I'm not worried. I mean, as they say, the truth will set me free. One card.
Well, I don't know about truth, but I do know about law. Plead guilty, take the probation, and get out. Dealer takes 4.
If I'm innocent, I can't plead guilty just to get out. I mean, that wouldn't be honest.
Thank you, William Jennings Bryan. Oh, what you got?
4 5s.
4 queens.
Irving, how come you've got 4 queens if I've got a queen in my hand?
Now, that's what I mean. Circumstantial evidence. Some people might think from that I'm cheating.
Morning, Father. Is breakfast ready?
It's all on the table, son. Just have to wake your grandfather.
I'll get it.
Dad? Morning, Dad. Time to rise and shine?
Oh, good morning.
Aren't you a bit early? We haven't even had breakfast yet.
That's the whole idea. I want to take Luke down to the office for a metabolism test, and I have to catch him before he eats. Where is he?
Ken, I was just in your grandfather's room. Oh, good morning, Colonel. Beautiful day out.
Oh, it's charming. Where's Luke?
Sky's as blue as anything. And the air's like wine.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. Where's Luke?
Let's step out and look at the robins.
I don't want to see any robins. Where's Luke?
Well, I don't know exactly.
Do you know approximately?
Well, his bed wasn't slept in last night.
All right. That's nothing to get excited about. There's undoubtedly a very simple and logical explanation.
Undoubtedly.
He's dead, wounded, or kidnapped by the enemy.
I don't think he's wounded.
All right. No panic. No panic. We'll start with the morgue.
And you weren't taking any bets when the police raided your premises?
Certainly not, Mr. Roscoe. I was just sitting down with a tuna fish sandwich preparing for my midday meditation.
Not engaged in illegal activities at time of arrest.
The better to contemplate nature's blessing and eat in peace. I even had all the phones off the hook.
What could be more legitimate? Duck soup, I'll get you off without a hitch. While I'm at it, I can do the same for you, my boy.
Listen to what the man says.
It's all a matter of knowing how to make the law act friendly.
No thanks, Mr. Roscoe. I know the law will act friendly because I'm innocent.
That's when it's most unpredictable.
Don't be a sap, Luke. Let Mr. Roscoe get you off.
Of course. There are always technicalities. Now, what's the charge?
Burglary, but...
With a loot.
Of course not. I didn't steal any.
Then suspicion of burglary. Really unfounded suspicion of burglary. Yes, they must know they have a weak case. They'll welcome a deal. Tell you what, plead guilty, a light fine, and poof, back to hearth and home.
Thanks just the same, Mr. Roscoe, but I have faith in the law.
You put me on.
Okay, hippie, you're bailed out. Sure am glad to see you.
Are you all right? Did they hurt you?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. See there, fellas? I told you I wasn't in any trouble.
That's what you think.
See you later.
For the 1000th time, will you stop trying to make a federal case out of this? Now, this afternoon when you get in court, what do?
I tell the judge the truth.
No. You plead guilty, pay the fine, and it's all over.
I told you, Colonel. I'm not pleading, and I'm not paying. I am an innocent man.
Of course you are, Dad.
Of course you are. But so am I.
So if George Washington and Patrick Henry didn't back down, I can't either. That's my story, Your Honor, and I thank you kindly.
Wasn't Dad terrific? He was terrific.
Mr. Carpenter, that was eloquent and very moving. However, the charges against you still stand. But I'm convinced you've learned your lesson, so I'm going to make an exception in your case. Instead of the customary fine of $150 or 30 days, I shall fine you $20 and the sentence is suspended.
Your Honor, I object. I appreciate what you're trying to do for me, but I'm innocent, and I want to be found innocent or there's no deal.
That guy doesn't know when he's getting a break.
I don't think he knows much about anything.
Mr. Carpenter, I wasn't offering you a deal. Now, I must commend you on your determination to achieve justice. And I shall personally enter your appeal for a new trial. Now, I think we have an opening here on the calendar. Yes. I direct you to appear in Judge von Bormann's court on the 14th of this month. And I wish you luck. Next case.
Thank you, Your Honor. You've made me a very happy man.
And you have made me a very miserable man.
Maybe the colonel was right. This judge was on your side, but there's no telling what Judge von Bormann will be like.
Well, that doesn't matter, son. Now, the law will protect you, no matter who interprets it. Well, I could try. Shouldn't be too bad. Well, hello, Irving.
Why don't you ask me how I did in court today?
How'd you do in court today?
Don't ask.
$1,000 or 60 days in jail is not justice. It is persecution.
$1,000 for bookmaking? That's pretty steep.
I didn't get it for bookmaking. I got it for not paying some parking tickets. That judge is murder. If I get him for my bookmaking trial, I'll wind up on Devil's Island. I know I'm going to hate myself for asking this, but who was the judge?
Who else but Judge von Bormann, the beast of the 10th Judicial District? Don't worry, Irv. We'll appeal. We'll appeal.
Excuse me. Yeah.
In reviewing Mr. Carpenter's case, I wish to remind the defendant that I take a dim view of ludicrous protestations of innocence unsupported by facts. In my opinion, they are a travesty of the law.
Somebody up there hates me.
I will give the defendant one last chance to plead guilty and take his medicine. If he does not, I will make his case a hard, hard lesson so that other offenders will not dare to waste the court's time. Now, how do you plead?
Your Honor, in the light of your well-taken remarks, we wish to plead guilty as...
No, I don't. I'll be hanged if I do.
You'll be hanged if you don't.
Will the defendant approach the bench?
I'm sorry, Mr. Packard.
Quick, plead insanity.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Carpenter, do I understand that you reject the plea of guilty entered by your counsel, Mr. Packard?
Yes, sir, I do. Mr. Packard's a good man, but I'm innocent, and that's the truth. So I guess I'd better just speak for myself from here on out.
Don't worry, it'll work out.
You have the right to do that, Mr. Carpenter, but I'm sure you have heard a lawyer who defends himself has a fool for a client.
Oh, sir, I hadn't heard that. Yeah, that's funny.
And dangerous. Proceed with your defense.
Yes, Your Honor. I want to call as my first witness the policeman who arrested me.
Can't you stop him?
When we spotted him, the defendant was moving around the bushes in a highly suspicious manner.
Now, officer, suppose you tell us right out, since when has moving around in the bushes been against the law? Now, you know, I think I've got him right there, Your Honor.
Mr. Carpenter, according to his statement, the officer had received a report of a burglar in the vicinity. That report fit your description, and your behavior was highly suspicious. Your claim that you were helping a little old lady find her dog was totally unsubstantiated. You still think you've got him?
Yes, sir, I do. But I reckon the only way I can prove it to you is to show that the place where I was arrested is not the place where the burglar could have been at that time. And if you'll just come out there with me, I can prove it to you.
You're just trying to waste the court's time.
No, sir. I'm trying to help the court find justice.
Very well, Mr. Carpenter. The court will adjourn to the scene of the arrest. The bailiff will arrange transportation. But, Mr. Carpenter...
Yes, Your Honor.
This had better be good, or in the illustrious words of our late Chief Justice, I'll throw the book at you.
All right, now, officer, is this the place where you arrested me? I mean, the exact spot.
Yeah, that's just about perfect. The house that was just burglarized that night is right through there.
And you think that I robbed that house by ducking through these bushes and then back out again?
That's about the size of it.
Well, then suppose you tell us how I did that. Seeing that between these bushes and that house is the biggest ditch I ever saw. As you can see, Your Honor, that culvert runs about half a mile in either direction.
The court may owe you an apology, Mr. Carpenter. You'd have to be a mountain goat to use that culvert as access to the house in question.
Yes, Your Honor.
I knew he could do it. He's smarter than Perry Mason.
Well done, Lou. Thank you, Mr. Packard. You know, there's just no reason a burglar would walk all that distance just to hide out there.
How about to stash the loot? Judge Von Bormann, look what I found in the bushes. The loot from the burglary. Carpenter led us right to where he stashed it. He took a chance because of the ditch, but he outsmarted himself.
No, wait. I'm innocent, Your Honor. I didn't know that stuff was in the bushes.
A likely story.
No, Your Honor. Now, wait, please. You gotta let me explain.
He's telling the truth, Judge.
Well, Grandpa, now we are in trouble. Yeah. Say, listen, Ken boy, I want you to know I really appreciate your help in raising my bail.
It's all in the family, Dad.
Yeah. One good thing about trouble, it helps bring you closer together. At first. How do you mean? I mean, it doesn't bring us closer together if you end up in jail. Son, I got some thinking to do.
Fortunately, the defendant's clever ploy aimed at misleading this court yesterday was exposed by the accidental discovery of his hidden loot, and now he may be dealt with as the flagrant criminal that he is. It is my ruling that you, Lucius Carpenter, shall be bound over in custody, pending a trial by a higher court on the charge of burglary. I am also sending along my personal recommendation that you be given the maximum penalty under law.
You might not want to do that, Your Honor.
What did you say?
I said you might not want to do that.
Mr. Packard, would you like to move for dismissal on grounds of insanity? Believe me, I will entertain that motion.
It's all right, Mr. Packard. You just set yourself down. Now, take it easy. No, I can handle this. Your Honor, you just might want to turn me loose because you said I told you a likely story. Now, didn't you say that? A likely story?
All right, Mr. Carpenter, you have aroused my curiosity. Now, what if I did say that?
Oh, well, sir, it's just like the case of California versus Meathead Schultz, San Francisco, 1892. December 15th was the date, and old Winky Ledbetter was the judge. His real name was Norman, but they always called him Winky because his eyes were always going blink, 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 you know, like that.
We've got to stop him. If he said something happened in 1892, he ought to know what he's talking about.
Here's the way it happened, Your Honor. You see, back in 92, a Miss Lily Seven ran a little place called the Saloon de Paris. It was an establishment that specialized in separating miners from their gold dust through games of chance. But the way things were arranged, the odds tended to favor the house, just a mite. And things being the way they were, some poor unlucky sucker was always trying to break into Miss Lily's room to get back what he'd lost. Among other things.
Yeah?
Well, sir, it happened that late one night, the police found old Meathead Schultz just kind of moving around back at Miss Lily's place. Well, they barely had time to exchange howdy-doos when, bam, out runs Miss Lily, yelling bloody murder. I've been robbed! I've been robbed! Some man had broken into her room in the middle of the night, taken her strong box, kissed her, smack on the lips, and run like a thief.
Yes, go on.
Sheriff latched right onto old Meathead. But Meathead claimed he was innocent. Well, sir, they searched the area, finally came up with Miss Lily's strongbox. Emptier than a working man's wallet on a Thursday night, except for a frilly handkerchief smelling of Miss Lily's perfume. So, they arrested old Meathead.
The only thing missing from this story is a gunfight with Wyatt Earp.
Well, sir, they brought him to trial. You're guilty, Meathead, said the judge. I didn't do nothing, Judge, said old Meathead. I was just out taking the night air with my friend. And who was this friend? Old Meathead didn't rightly know. They'd only just met over a bottle of red-eye.
Go on.
Well, naturally, the friend was nowhere to be found. Nor did Meathead know his name. He only knew one thing. I didn't do nothing, Judge. I'm innocent. That was his story, and he stuck to it. Well, sir, old Winky Ledbetter was a fine judge. Fine judge. You know what he said?
Teddy Roosevelt missed a great attorney general when Dad went to Alaska.
Oh, what did he say?
Judge Ledbetter ruled that since Miss Lily couldn't positively identify old Meathead as the, burglar that kissed her, and since there was no direct evidence to tie him to the strongbox, the court could only conclude that Meathead's claiming he was innocent was a likely story.
So?
So the case for the prosecution was also a likely story. But as far as the law is concerned...
The prosecution has to prove its case.
Whereas the defense's likely story makes it a reasonable doubt, which is, after all the defense has to establish.
Right you are, if it's true.
Your Honor, it is true. May it please the court, Mr. Carpenter has given an accurate synopsis of the case in question.
Well, apparently it is true. Precedent established and found pertinent. I don't particularly like it, but that's how it is. Case dismissed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
I know you do it. Thanks.
Mr. Carpenter, it's been an experience.
Say that again.
Dad, you were sensational.
Well, thank you, son.
But you gotta tell me something. Was Schultz really innocent?
Yeah, I think so. At least partly.
Partly?
Yeah, I don't know for sure who stole the money, but...
Yeah?
I do happen to have first-hand knowledge as to who kissed Miss Lily.
Hey, Dad.
Lovely lady, son. Bit careless with her money and other things, but lovely lady. You know, son. That's a person.